Since 1968, Mackey Motors has been the place to find new and certified used vehicles. Along with a knowledgeable and helpful sales staff, you, the customer, are their number one priority. Find new roads at Mackey Motors in Lake City. Mackey Motors post-game show here on Kick 106.7. Jeff Langman joined right now by Mikayla, Klenk, the head volleyball coach, of course, for the Carroll Tigers. Tigers playing well here tonight on the road against an ADM team that's right at the top of the conference, but they fall here tonight 3-0. Coach, appreciate you joining us here tonight. You were just kind of telling me you felt there were some really good things that the girls did here tonight.
Yeah, that's exactly how you want to end the conference season going into postseason. You want to end on that positive note and pulling those things together that you've been working on all season.
What were some of the things that you take away that you were really pleased with here tonight?
Hitters were on. We know that we have a good defense, good scrappy defense, and then we were just meshing well with each other.
I thought you made some nice adjustments. I thought early they don't look like they swing real hard, but they were placing the ball well and a lot of times trying to work that 10-foot line area, and they were able to find that open early. I thought you guys made some nice adjustments to that as this match went on.
Yeah, our defense saw where they were hitting. We knew that their outside was aiming for us on the line, their right side was cut and cross, and so we made those adjustments and were able to frustrate them.
You mentioned your hitters swinging well. Where were you guys finding the gaps in their defense here tonight? What were your hitters trying to do?
If they were off, they were trying to push deep corners, and then we were trying to find that hole in the block.
Down 15-13 there in the first set. I mentioned this kind of, and I'll get your thoughts on it. In set 2, you led, kind of about the midpoint. In set 3, certainly led, got a 5-point lead up 13-8. So at times tonight, saw some really, really good volleyball out of your team. It's just maybe kind of finding that consistency for a whole set.
Yeah, even though we might have lost that point, there were a lot of points where we were going back and forth and had some awesome digs and even some awesome coverage. So we fought every single point.
What'd you see out of your block here tonight?
Our block adjusted. We were up in their face and then reading the hitters.
Coach, I appreciate you joining us. Well, let's talk playoffs. You got a week, but Storm Lake next week at home. Have you had a chance to even look at them? I know they were at your tournament earlier this year, but you didn't face them that day. So have you had a chance to peek at them yet?
Yep. We've got some film on them. We've been looking at them, and then we'll move forward and have the girls look at that film too.
Well, I tell you what, Coach, appreciate you joining us here tonight. Congrats on a great effort out of the girls. We'll see you next Tuesday. Best of luck.
All right, thank you.
You bet. Head coach Mikayla Klenk will get either Shay, Sinnard, or Kaitlyn Tigges, and I think Kaitlyn going to slide in here, and she'll be our next interview here tonight. We'll get Kaitlyn on the headset and then also on the other mic, and I'm going to slide this one down in front of your mouth just a little bit. There you go. Probably pulls a little hard. Kaitlyn, appreciate you joining us here tonight. Fun watching you and the girls play here tonight. Thought you played well. What stood out for you about the Carroll Tigers here tonight?
I think we did really well with putting the pieces together. I think a lot of the nights we either have really good defense or really good offense or our serving's on, and I think tonight we finally just put the pieces together and it just felt good.
I thought you guys had the advantage coming in serve-wise tonight when you looked at the numbers, better percentage and more aces on the year. How'd you guys use your serve to be able to take some advantages of them tonight?
It just helps us get the momentum. If we get on a run and then we lose a serve, it deflates everybody. And tonight we really didn't have any of that. It was just helping us stay ahead and keep that momentum on our side.
Talk a little bit about how you felt setting it tonight. What were you looking at with the defense? What were you trying to get your hitters to be able to find?
So I was just working on if one person didn't get it, then we just move it around and the next person's got it. And also we were talking every time, if they get blocked, well then we're going to keep you off a little bit. Or if you get blocked, maybe try and tip it to the donut there. We just had, the hitters were really responsive tonight and everybody was just communicating very well.
What'd you hear from your back row about that block and how they were setting up to block here tonight?
So on our outsides, I think they might have been blocking cross for the first half. I'm not 100% sure. So we pushed them out and Shay got around the block pretty well tonight. Everyone did. So I think we just did really well listening to each other.
You probably heard me as you guys were standing off the side when I was talking with Coach. They were doing a lot of dumping and not really tipping, but not swinging real hard and finding that 10-foot line. I thought early in that first set and into the second set, you guys adjusted well. You were a part of that adjustment. What did you girls see out on the floor to help make that adjustment?
Yeah, so early in the season, that was one of our really big weak spots. So it's kind of just been learning how to read that ball. And as soon as we see their hands go up, we just got to move. And we just kind of learned that somebody's got to take it. And we've had our outside or our off blocker pull off, and we're working on them taking those, but if you're there, you just got to take it, and that's been something that has really helped us a lot.
Got a week now to get ready for the postseason. What's this team kind of focus on, do you think?
I think this gave us a little bit of a confidence booster. I mean, we lost, but it just helped us out, and the momentum was there. So I think we're going to go into the postseason ready.
Well, I tell you what, Kaitlyn, appreciate you joining us. So thanks for coming up tonight. Great job out there tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You bet. Kaitlyn Tigges again joining us. We're going to get Shay Sinnard now sliding in here, and we'll get Shay on the headsets and the other mic as well. And Shay, you just heard Kaitlyn talking about how you were able to get it around the block tonight. How did you see that block try to adjust to you as the night went on? And then how are you kind of adjusting to the block as they change things up?
Well, you know, like every once in a while, like they'd get a touch on the block and they'd come back over, but we were able to dig it up, and it's like I try to, you know, like go sharp cross and deep corners and just really watch. And it was really nice because Kaitlyn was keeping me off the net, and it's better off the net because I can read it better. And yeah.
Is that where you're more comfortable, is having that little bit of a space to be able to kind of read the defense?
Yeah, it's nice because I feel like I can get up enough that I can kind of see where the block is and then adjust from there.
Talk about the communication you have with your setter tonight, Kaitlyn Tigges, and stuff, and what you're seeing and what you want from the setter so you can get good swings.
Well, you know, like you have to be loud because the gym's really loud, especially when you have student sections. You know, you have to be calling your numbers, and we talk, you know, before the like on serve receive. We talk before the serve comes over, like what are you going to run? So then we're already on the same page, and I feel like we work well together, and all of our hitters and setters work well together, and we've really just done a good job of getting the connection.
You get to play all the way around, so you see the back row action as well. What were you seeing in the back row that helped you out when you came up to the front row about how they were setting up defensively?
Well, it was like you could see deep corners, and you could tell like they're out of system balls when you would attack their setter. They couldn't really do much. Like their pin hitters weren't really able to really slam on the ball. They had to like find another way. And I told some of the hitters, I was like, well, look for the setter. Like if you have to tip to the setter, because they were struggling with their out of system.
Back row did a nice job tonight kind of adjusting to their hitters and really kind of taking away, I thought midway through that second set started to take away where they were finding their holes in the defense. Talk about the adjustments that you made in the back row as well.
Well, you know, like they hit the same spot every time. You know, that one outside, it was just line after line. And I think our line, you know, the setters to defend line, we're doing a really great job of getting that. And then same with Madison, you know, like those balls were coming hard. Some of those were hard, and like she was able to get to them. And, you know, it's just, you just have to read. And I thought we struggled at the beginning, but then we figured it out, and we talked and we communicated, and I thought it went really well.
What can you girls take away from tonight to help you with that Storm Lake matchup to open up the postseason Tuesday next week?
That even though we lost, this is what it should feel like, you know, like this is how we should play, because it felt good, you know. It wasn't one of those, oh man, lose. It was like we played good. They're a good team, lose. And yeah, I just think it shows that we have the potential, and we just have to be confident enough that we can do it.
Well, Shay, appreciate you joining us as always. Fun to watch you compete out there. So thanks very much for coming up. Have a good trip home. Best of luck coming up next week.
Thanks.
Shay Sinnard again with the Carroll Tigers.